that shit crack.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I am going to be talking about the full moon in Libra. So, without further ado, um, we will have a full moon in Libra on April 6th here in Eastern time. I don't know the other times, but you definitely want to make sure you check your times, your time zones. It'll be 12:35 a.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. So you know, do the clock for however wherever you are in the world. Um, I think we're really going to feel the intensity build up over the next few weeks to the eclipse, um, the Aries eclipse on April 19th. So this will be like you putting a pot of water on the stove on the 6th, and every day it gets warmer and warmer until it explodes. Um, Literally or figuratively for the Aries eclipse on April 19th. This full moon is going to give us some clues as to what the Aries Libra axis wants us to work on for the next 18 months, because that's what how long eclipse seasons take. And I'll go into more about the eclipses and what that all means in that video. Um, I did do a Libra Aries axis video, which I highly advise everybody to check out, um, because that's going to give you some more themes that can be coming up, or better yet, how these two tend to work together. I always try to make sure I come up with different ways that this can show up, using different languages, because honestly, it's so much. With just a 30 or 40-minute video, I would never be able to get all of the themes in one video. So, um, I do try my best. I try my best. Um, but the Aries Libra axis is about me versus others. And we may need to find balance in our desire for independence. So Aries is all about the self. It tends to be about worrying about yourself, right? And on the opposite end of Aries is Libra, and Libra is about others, other relationships, partnerships, clients, etc. And so we're going to have to find balance in our desire to worry about ourselves with our need for collaboration with others. We're going to see more things come up around relationships, but we also have a lot more planets in Aries, along with Chiron in Aries, meaning we're going to still have, we're going to begin to see how much more work we have to do, which I don't see as a bad thing. At this point, to be quite frank with you, again, it's always going to depend on where you're at spiritually on your journey. But what I'm really getting from this is that because we've been in retrogrades for so long, and I still feel like it's slowly, getting the to pick up the beat, if you will, the momentum and the energy, if you will, um, that it's not going to be as bad as I'm anticipating in my brain. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are going to be some things that are coming up that are going to be like, whoa, how the heck are we supposed to deal with this? But at the same time, energetically, I don't feel like things are moving as fast as I feel like they should for Aries energy, if that makes any sense. And because I have that feeling, I'm gonna go back and talk about that Mars and Gemini energy, because we had such a long stretch Energetically, we're still, I mean, technically we are moving pretty damn fast. But what I think happened is energetically, we picked up what we absolutely are not giving any attention to until we find the right people, until the right situations come up. We're it's almost as if we've learned how to honor time, divine timing, when to do something, how to do something in a way that's suitable for us. That's really what I'm getting here. Even if we are really frustrated and annoyed because things aren't moving fast enough, I still feel like in some retrospects, we're still also like, well, I don't want to fucking deal with this shit any fucking way, so I'll wait. Don't worry. When you get ready, I'll be here to hash it out. Um, that's just the momentum that I'm getting so far. I'd love to hear how other people are experiencing this, but we are going to begin to realize that when it comes, we have a lot more healing to do when it comes to our flaws, wounds, and ego issues with Chiron. That could bring up some fear and resistance to change. That could be another thing that's happening here for everybody, and it's affecting everybody. So it's still, again, making us feel like we're moving really slow because we are cautious. We're like, I don't want to go through whatever you just came out of, right? And not that you don't want to, but not in that way. If we're gonna do it, let's talk like in normal human beings. I don't want to do the shouting. I don't want to do the fighting. I don't want to do the toxicity. I don't want to do the annoyances. I don't want to do the disrespect. I don't want to do, you know what I mean? And so in a sense, we're all just kind of like tiptoeing towards goals and long-term things that we have to do, just like a normal regular day with no high expectations. Also Mars is in Cancer, which really energetically isn't helping, even though, again, and I did talk about this in the Mars in Cancer video. Cancer is a cardinal sign, believe it or not. Cancers get shit done. Don't sleep. But also, Cancers in a shell, they are afraid of every fucking thing. They feel vibrationally when something's going wrong, something's not right. Their intuition gets the bubbling, and they be like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay home, right? I'm not too sure it's safe to go out just yet, you know? I'm gonna sit here on the couch and watch some more TV, right? And so there's again that energy that's kind of like we're reflecting on, um, some kind of past trauma, drama, experience that we've been through that we really just aren't really ready to face just quite yet. And I say that very lightly. I probably should phrase that a little bit different because I don't think it's that we're not ready. Again, we're just cautious, right? We're really probably overthinking shit as opposed to overacting, right? And so we're going to have to find the balance within that. And I think that's what Libra energy is going to help us do. Like, all right, you know what? Let me just go over here and, take some steps to start working toward this. And again, I think the momentum will pick up once we open up to that. Um, Also, full moons do bring results. So you want to again go back to the last 6 months for the new moon in Libra video that I did, which is up on my other YouTube page. Right when you get on the home page, that video should be playing. And also, again, don't forget you can always go to my website, but you have to have a laptop in order to see the video because you only get pieces if you're on your phone. Unfortunately, sorry. Starting next moon, I think we're good to go for this channel and making some changes on being able to update the videos from this platform. So again, I apologize for all the changes, family, but I do love and appreciate you for following me over here, for finding me over here as usual. Family, please, please, please like, share, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notifications bell so that you can be notified every time we go live, family. I do appreciate you in advance. um but yeah, and we also have to remember when we had that Aries, that Libra new moon 6 months ago, which was September, the end of September, it was eclipse season. And so if you go back to that video, you'll see but the eclipses were in Scorpio and Taurus, which we are still wrapping up this year. So we simultaneously have two endings going here. South node Libra, Scorpio, all right. And North Node Aries, Taurus, right? And so energetically that shifts everything too. So we're still finalizing and closing a cycle and a chapter, learning some lessons from that Taurus Scorpio access, and then even some new things, new beginnings, new experiences, etc., can be grown and blossoming with the Aries and Libra access. So be mindful about that. Don't be hard on yourself. Take one step at a time. The thing that I love about Libra energy is that it's ruled by Venus. And anywhere in your chart where you have Venus, Venus brings support. And so on the higher vibration of this, go get your counseling, find your support groups. Who do you talk to when your day is not going well? And all those kind of things there. You want to have those things lined up for you because you might have some bad days, right? Um, Libra rules beauty, balance, equality. We're better together as a team, relationships, romance, counselors, support systems, clients, and the marketplace. Um, it's at a Cancer degree. So the full moon, this current full moon is at 16 degrees, which is a Cancer degree. So again, those Cancerian themes are going to come up heavy: emotions, sensitivity, home, family, land, past, reflecting, reminiscing, generational curses and traumas that need to be dealt with and closed out, especially around women and mothers, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And because Mars is there, men too, I actually think men are learning how to be more sensitive, intuitive, and share their feelings. So creating safe spaces for where men can do that. Men will find those places and spaces and start to open up, to heal, to get past these things. I think it's going to be a phenomenal transformation and growth. And yeah, I could say so much more about that, but I think you get the picture. This could be old relationships, old wounds, and family dynamics, domestic dynamics, um, things with children, with Pluto and Aquarius. I really feel like this is teenagers and young adults really taking a stand here, or acting out, or uh, the trauma from whatever they've experienced are coming up now, like a cycle has completed. And so, like, if you know anything about psychology, um, if they're always in that environment, they just learn how to survive and it becomes normalized. But once you move or come out of it, or something drops, a ball drops, or there's some kind of change or shift, that's when everything comes up and out. And so something like that change and shift could literally be the fact that we're having an Aries Libra eclipse. And however that's playing out in their life is bringing up this energy of like, fuck that, I'm not hiding this anymore, or I can't hide it anymore. Or better yet, even in your age groups, what you'll notice is that from 0 to 6 or 7, they're just observers, and then after that they act things out, and so you can really begin to see who they are, their characteristics, and what they've learned so far, all the things that they picked up, right? And so it's coming up and out, and they can only do that through action. There's so many dynamics and ways that that could be spoken about, but for all the people out there who have kids, with that simple explanation, I'm sure you know exactly what it is I'm talking about. And so I do think that we're going to see a lot of those things happening with children, and especially young adults, teenagers and young adults. Okay. Um, yeah, so we might be watch for living in the past. You might find yourself reminiscing about the good old days and things that you've been through, kind of like your war wounds and things like that. Avoid crying over spilled milk, And the moon is going to remind us to stop and smell the roses. So that Libra energy again is coming in as support, to not always be on the go with the Aries energy, and to slow down and check in with yourself, others, making sure everybody's a-okay. Um, this can also be contracts, agreements, and business deals, especially on the world stage, or things on the world stage around these themes. We can see a lot going on. I know that China and Russia are doing something, and the EU is, and I think is with us, is there's something going on, us meaning America. You have to forgive me. I really don't watch the news. I trust my sources enough to know what's going on in the world without having to go over there and like have to deal with that crap. But um we already know the dollar's changing. We know we're in a recession, you know, um all those things are very real to the outside world if you haven't been preparing. I talked about this extensively over the last few years. I'd be very sad if you people came to me and telling me that you're freaking out right now. Humanly, okay, I get it. It is something to worry about. Don't let me sit up here and fool you and not let me think. Don't let I don't want anybody to think that I'm not. I don't care anymore, okay? There's not much more than I can do than what I already have set up. I've already got all the tools that I need. I'm in the stock market, I'm selling stock options, I'm teaching my family whatever I learned, so for me, at this point, you just have to understand, I'm like, I know that I'm doing everything that I can, and I have to trust and believe and stay grounded in my beliefs and what I've already set up, that that's going to work out, right? So in that same way, I hope everybody else is doing the same thing. And if you're not, get out the TV. Okay, because it's not helping you. It's good to be aware and to know, yes, of course. But how many times do you need to hear the same damn story? If you watched it already once this week, wait next week to see if something else comes up. Outside of that, stop watching it, because it's going to drive you fucking bonkers. That's literally what they set that fucking shit up to do. So that's just where I'm at with it. Sorry. I can care less at this point. That's just where that's all I got, guys. This is also a time to work on self-improvement, personal growth. Um, Especially when it comes to how you're communicating, diplomacy, and conflict resolution skills. I did do a video on that. If I can find it, I'll post it. Um, I'll post it on my career coaching page on my website. Outside of that, you have to go to the other YouTube page to find it. Unfortunately, sorry. There are some really good stuff, some really good tips in there. I think people would really appreciate. But otherwise, you can research it too, and find other people who are talking about that subject. Find somebody who you can resonate with. It would be very beneficial for the entire Aries season, and as long as Jupiter's going to be in Aries, because again, it's about working on ourselves. Consume as much helpful information on skills and tools on how to do things. Engineers, they solve problems, right? Anything that's about around solving problem solving, staying ready so you don't have to get ready. How do you be prepared? How do you, um, uh, you know, um, I'm trying to think, um, preparation over, uh, uh, reacting. There's a better way to say that. I don't know why my brain is not working right now, but there's a certain saying. I'm gonna try to come back to it, but just preparedness in general. Start looking at farming from home. They should have a lot more videos out now. When I was trying to look for, believe it or not, nobody had anything out on that. Um, so looking up your local farms, seeing what you can do with that, and or trying to learn how to grow things in your home, how to make your own food. Um, Going back to like olden times and cooking things from scratch. Supporting small businesses who have like vegan or healthy living cooking. Those types of things you want to know. You want to follow those trends. Those trends are going to be hot fucking tickets when Jupiter hits Taurus. So you can start to get prepared now. Don't wait until the energy shows up. Do it now, right now, right now. Go study and learn survival skills and tools and tips and tricks and all those things. Um, I do think with Libra energy, we will be more open to resolving issues because Libras are excellent mediators. They're good at listening to both sides of a situation. Um, so all parties involved can win. On the opposite side of that, it can bring up imbalances, lack of fairness, and in relationships. But I do think it's going to be through peace and harmony to work through these issues. I really do think that this is like the end of any possible hope of peaceful shit. Um, because like I said, the boiling's starting to boil. So, starting to open up the door and having heart-to-heart conversations as much as you can, because you can't force anybody, but to just say it to yourself out loud or take the actual action, but accept that others might not be ready yet. To put the energy out there that says, I'm ready to open up this door to peace and harmony, to healing any issues that I have with these specific people or people, places, and things, wherever this is coming up for you. Um, Start opening yourself up, small steps that you can take to allow information to come to you that you're seeking, looking for, and all that stuff. Um, the moon can bring up heightened emotions around Libra themes. That's just what the moon is all about. Um, I think with the Jupiter and the Mercury and Jupiter, or Jupiter and the Sun conjunction, um, can bring up themes that good relationships are worth fighting for. So I talked about this in the Mars and Cancer video. Somebody's coming to your house begging for forgiveness. I wish you guys can see this in my head, and I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. But what I'm gathering when it comes to relationships is this is especially when you're talking about Libra, because Libra is the seventh house. It rules marriage, love, relationships, all relationships, but specifically love and romantic relationships and marriage. Um, um, this is your twin flames energies if you're an avid tarot watcher, or your soulmates, and kind of those love reading themes that they consistently do on tarot. I actually think it'd be worth watching them now. These videos I've tapped in, I wouldn't tell you that if I did. And maybe it's because I watch them a lot. Energetically, I have connected to give me some goddamn answers today. Okay. But so it might not be for everybody, but I do feel like a lot of those themes that they come up with and that they discuss are relevant to what we're going to see a lot. So a lot of past relationships coming back because now they see I don't want to be a player anymore. At one point I really did want to be alone. I did want to be by myself. I didn't want to be bothered. I wasn't looking for long term. But again, I think that the emotions that people have, you know, pushed deep down inside of them are coming up like they might not even realize that it's survival. I've been talking about this for the longest time. If you go back to my Mars and Aries video back in 2020, when it had its 6 month stay in that sign, I called it the rise of male energy and them healing and realizing and waking up and stepping to the plate. Um when it comes to how they are in relationships, because they're beginning to realize their toxic ways, right? And that they have some healing to do, and like, oh shit, I can do a little bit better, but I was never taught that, right? Because it's not normalized for men to go and get help or to get healing, even as children. And I think we can see a lot of those themes coming up. So it's always gonna fall back on women. I know women get tired of hearing me say that, so I'm not here to. I said what I said, my piece about it already. I stand on that. Unfortunately, it's not to nag or degrade or belittle anybody. But where are they teaching that class at? We've only always done what we've always seen and what we've known, unless again, you're on that spiritual journey where you're like, you know what, fuck that. I'm not I don't want to do the tried and true. I want to step out of this. There's got to be something better. And in order to do that, you've got to be one brave bitch. And it's not easy. So when I say what I say or what I said in those videos in all 2020 and 2021, I wasn't trying to talk down to anybody, but that's just the truth. That's where we're at. And with Pluto and Aquarius, it wants us to evolve so that we can take over. If you can imagine a world right now where the government's dropped, they all just dropped. I don't know where they dropped to, but they don't exist. Now nobody's running the country. Are you going to try to tell me that you think spirit would allow you that permission when you don't even know who you are? You don't know right from wrong. You're not making healthy decisions. Get right so that we can push the government out, because that's what's happening anyways, right? And so that's what a lot of these things can come up. That's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of hard work. You're going to have to look in the mirror and realize some of this shit is your fucking fault, but not like, you're stupid or dumb. But again, where are they teaching that class at, right? Um, so, get honest with yourself before spirit does it. And that's what eclipses do. They put you in front of a mirror and smack you up and say, wake up, change this now. And if you thought what I was saying was hard, what spirit's going to do, I promise you it's not going to feel good. All right. And I'll leave it there. So get ready, because it's time now. Pluto in Aquarius is the mark of a generation that's ready to change and evolve and give you back, you meaning the people, the power. And so, in order to do that, we're going to have a lot more stronger cases on self-worth, self-love, accountability, healing, growing, evolving, and then taking power into your own hands. And so, if you could run the country, how would you see fit to do that? Study those things, understand those things. How are you running your household? Is it a place where other people would want to come? A boss up. All right. Um, uh, um, Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of people fighting for relationships that they're now realizing, like, oh shit, I lost out on a good person. We're going to realize we have to be on our own path and journey in our relationships, which is also very Pluto and Aquarius. Like my mom and dad have been married for my brother's 44 years, 44 years. Yeah, 44 years. And they don't live together. Now, I'm not using their entire relationship as an example because that's not time. Okay. But that dynamic of not living together, but being together for that fucking long, this is so Pluto and Aquarius, right? Well, you make up your own rules on how things are going, because another way to look at this is that you have your own separate journeys, right? And so the relationships, this is why a lot of men don't want to get married, is because it doesn't benefit them. There's nothing about a marriage that is that would make a man want to be in that marriage, especially if you're an female. What role or part do they play in it? It's all for the women, right? at least through the definition of whatever marriage is supposed to be, right? And so we've assumed that ideology, that belief, that philosophy. And so, you know, we're gonna learn like, oh shit, I've been in this relationship for money because we had a child together, because whatever other reasons, they say we're supposed to get married for, right? Thinking that we're doing the right thing, but and somewhere it the way they're set up is like, well, you've completely blocked off your entire um journey and whatever is you were meant to do in this lifetime. You've sacrificed an entire north node area of your life, why you're meant to be here, you know blocking your blessings, your growth and evolution, and we can't do that anymore. That's going to be cut out. And so um so that we can be in better, more healthier relationships. So for a lot of us, this can be a rude awakening. You're going to notice you're in a shallow relationship. It's built on financial security, pleasure, or just for looks. Um, so we can see a lot of divorces and breakup and separation from this. We're going to realize we have to grow together, or break up. Um, we have to be developing as individuals, Pluto and Aquarius, because we all have our own destiny to fulfill. There can be a lot of um, help you conversations. I see this more so with children. Even if you're with an adult man and he's acting childish or vice versa, um, nobody's gonna accept you talking to them like that. But could be, I can't help you if you don't allow me in, or if you don't let me love you. Ooh, I should play that song. I might put that song on the Libra full moon post that I do. I gotta write that down. Um, who is that? Is that Aretha Franklin? If you don't let me love you. Ooh, that's my song. Now I'm gonna go listen to that. So there could be a lot of those kinds of conversations coming up. And I do think that people are going to be a lot more open because they're failing miserably. And that mirror is on them right now with all these changes that have already happened, coming out of the retrograde. And it's going to be enforced with the Aries eclipse. And so people are tired, people are exhausted, and tired of failing. And so they're looking at the situation, especially if you've had time apart. If you're still in a relationship and you're holding on, you're not seeing this. You probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You're like, bitch, you crazy. My man's right here. Proud, trifling too. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to say it. But if you've been in a relationship for a really long time and shit just hasn't been working out, you've been running into same roadblocks, different situation, and you finally separated, I promise you that person had an opportunity to see themselves in the mirror. And you too, but it goes both ways, right? Even if we are spiritual and we're leveling up and we're doing the work, I promise you we're still getting eaten up and eaten alive because change is inevitable. It's consistent and it's always happening, especially when you challenge yourself and you say, I'm gonna change. The shit's for the fucking pits, all right? I'm tired, okay? I'm going to take a nap after this. Fuck that. Anyway, um, um, be open to having those conversations and step into um relationships rather than avoiding, isolating, and being stuck in our own ways. Now, some people have already been working on these themes and they have counselors and support systems. They've started something new that's expanding their horizons through exercise, self-defense classes, education, traveling, and they just want to share their experiences. Unfortunately, another way this can show up is that people are jumping into relationships because they don't want to be alone. Oh my God, it's coming, Mars and Cancer. I need to get a Lenny Williams going on here. Stamp that Lenny Williams song. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I gotta write that down too. It's not funny. I should not be laughing. It's really not funny. I promise you. I feel really bad for people who are going to be in these situations, and which there's nothing wrong with, by the way. Um, but you're going to have a lot of people coming back like, I don't want to be alone. They're realizing these things. They're realizing their insecurities. I can't do this by myself. I don't want to do this by myself. Self-esteem issues and ego issues. But accidents and injuries, both, literally or figuratively, can show us that we need each other to tend to our wounds. Um, and those who are actively, that are not actively open to asking for help and stuck in a cycle can bring in physical illness. So there's a few different ways this stuff is going to be playing out to show us how these Libra themes and how much we actually really need each other and we're better off together. But nobody has to put up with, you know, um, the lack, and that's what needs to be fixed and resolved. And I think we can see a lot of couples even going into counseling and realizing like, oh shit, we do got a problem. Um, we have to do more things together. Um, or, honoring each other doing their own thing in a relationship, and not seeing it as because we're separate, we're apart, or that we're not growing and evolving. So I think our ideologies and the way relationships are run are going to change quite drastically with Pluto and Aquarius by any means necessary. Pluto is not doing it. They're absolutely not going to do it. Like, I wish I would get in a relationship with you, bitch, and you tell me I can't do what the fuck I want. Says who? No. So yeah, I could say so much more about that, but that's just where I'm at with it. I think on the world stage, we can see a lot of hot problems, especially with air pilots and health issues, even armies and vets and health issues. Um, a lot of those themes are going to grow with this, but yeah, I'll pick up some more themes, but that's the gist of it, guys. I wanted to get this video out early enough because I don't think if I wait, I don't think it's going to be time to talk about Libra at all. Libra's going to be left out in the code. Nobody's going to remember because Aries eclipse is going to come in and just be like, bam, bitches, I'm here. So I'm posting this right now. And you listen to it when you get a chance, but don't wait. Consume it, assume it, heal it, notice it wherever it is playing a role in your life, before Aries energy gets in here and starts fucking up shit. All right, y'all. I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.